To install the pipe into the Ridgid 1224 threading machine, insert the pipe into the machine. Use the chuck jaw hand wheel to tighten the front and the centering device to tighten the back. To cut the pipe, put the cutter assembly in place over the pipe. You can cut using 12 or 36 RPMs on the machine. Step on the foot pedal to activate. Keep constant pressure on the carriage hand wheel. Once the unit is cut, it is suggested to use the reamer to take off any sharp edges from the inside of the pipe. Apply light pressure to the hand wheel. Only do enough to take off the burr off of the inside of the pipe. The Ridgid 1224 threading machine rental from Gap Power comes included with 3 different heads for different size pipe and applications. When using the 914 die head for straight or tapered threads, it is essential to set the machine at 12 RPMs using the RPM shift knob. Install the 914 head onto the carriage. It is needed to adjust the die head to the proper pipe size. Loosen the size adjusting nut and slide the cam plate to the proper pipe size setting. In this example, we are using 2.5-inch pipe. Retighten the nut. The release foot for tapered threads needs to be set in this groove right here. When we set the release foot all the way front, it doesn't quite reach that groove. Lift up on the cam locking plate handle so that the release foot sets in the groove. The release handle should set on the left edge of the lockout plate. Notice that the lockout plate is set all the way to the left. Align the sign bar so that it sets underneath the die head foot. When the carriage is moved front and the release foot touches the pipe, the die head foot will drop onto the sign bar. This is how the action should look from the front and from the side. While starting the threads, keep constant pressure on the carriage hand wheel. Once the dies have an established thread, the carriage will advance automatically without the need of putting pressure on the carriage hand wheel. Notice how the die head foot is slowly traveling down the sign bar. Once the foot reaches the end of the sign bar, it will drop off, allowing the dies to release their cutting. and we have a completed tapered thread. To use the 914 die head for straight threads, pull back the release foot so that it is out of the way of the pipe. Also pull back the sign bar and hook it onto the end of the machine to keep it out of the way. Adjust the lockout plate all the way to the right. The release handle should set in this notch right here. Proceed with cutting as normal. Once the threads are finished, press on the release handle to disengage the dies. The 541 and 542 die heads operate identically. Install it onto the machine. Adjust the size bar to the proper size pipe setting. Cock the throwout lever. The threading machine can be operated in 12 or 36 RPMs with the smaller die heads. Once the threads are complete, the trigger assembly will hit the pipe to release the dies off of the pipe.